That's the plan right now. Like I said, the drought isn't just bad for EHD and other things. I mean, this is like one of our best fields, and you see how much money and time and effort and everything we have into this cornfield, and the deer totally destroyed it. But I guess you look on the bright side, at least they had something to eat that's high protein and stuff still when everything else was dead. So, you know, having a big brassica field in here and with amazing grains and our pro brassica, it's gonna be awesome as well, but it just adds a lot of work, you know, to what we're doing here. So we'll figure this out and get it planted, and hopefully we'll get some rain and it'll come up and we'll still have a beautiful food plot here. But it's like I always said, if it fails the first time, you still have lots of chances, but we're getting down to the end of the chances. It's the last one we have. We got a little disaster going here, and like I looked at this cornfield here. This is like one of my best fields, and you know, the years that it's corn, it is always so awesome hunting here. The deer totally destroyed it, but I guess you look on the bright side, at least they had something to eat that's high protein and stuff still when everything else was dead. So hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and thanks for stopping in again. And we got a little disaster going here, and like if you watched our previous episodes on the EHD, especially when it was so dry, you know, and you find out that EHD isn't the only thing that gets, you know, started from the drought. You know, I looked at this cornfield here. This is like one of my best fields, and you know, the years that it's corn, it is always so awesome hunting here. And you know, we finally got some rain over the 4th of July weekend, and I came around and looked at this corn. It was all awesome, just perfect. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be great. Of course, the edges like this were eaten out, but that's fine. I was gonna go around the edge and put our amazing grains on the edges here and stuff, and have corn in the middle like we normally do, and it would be awesome. But I come out here a couple of days ago, and it's totally gone. I mean, the deer have absolutely wiped this field out, and it's pretty big. You know, it's an 8-acre cornfield, and they have another one right next to us that's like 13-acre cornfield, and they wiped that one out too. And like normally we have clover, we have alfalfa, we have all, you know, there's all the natural browse and everything else here. But with the drought, after the 4th of July, hot and no rain again, that everything dies. You see, like our lawns, everything is dead. And when everything's dead, including the clover and the, you know, any weeds or anything around here, everything moves to anything that's green and growing. And so every deer was just socked into this cornfields and totally wiped them out. So we're just going right now. I see George is come down. I have him on the disc, and we're just seeing it's like there's so much stuff in here, and you know, we need to plant it again, get it into our turnip fields, or our Perfect 10 or Pro Brassica. We'll see how this chops it up here when he comes by. Yeah, and see, that's another problem when you have, you know, so much corn in there, and then now that they've eaten it all out, that all the weeds have come up in there, which is a good thing. I'm glad to see all those weeds in there, because when you put atrazine down for weed control on the corn, so many times if you get, you know, a drought year or whatever, it doesn't activate, and then you get rain late, that atrazine will activate and much later. Like now, if we wouldn't put weed in here, it would never come up because the atrazine would kill it. But just the fact that now I see all the foxtail stuff coming up in there tells me that the atrazine is out of here already. There was enough rain early to activate that, and if weeds will grow up, if foxtail will grow up, our wheat's going to come up. So I'm actually glad to see that, but it just is so much residue out here. And of course, being as dry as it's been, we just finally got some rain again. You hate to disc it up. You're going to lose all the moisture. You see that? And there's moisture in here now because it rained yesterday. But it's now we're drying it all out again. But you just have to do what you have to do, and you gotta say, well, I'm assuming it's going to rain again, so we have to get this out of here if we want to run the Brilliant through here or anything else, and getting our Pro Brassica or Perfect 10 in here. So we're just kind of figuring out how to do this. If it's to run over the disc, maybe once or twice like this, and then where we're going to use the Brilliant, come in with the rototiller and run over the top of that. So that's what we're just experimenting now, but it looks like this is chopping it up pretty good. This has been gone over twice here. That's just the first time out there. But I think maybe we'll go over twice and just kind of leave it at that. And then in the middle where I'm going to run our pro brassicas through the middle of this. I'll probably take a rototiller and just to rototill all this corn stuff out of there, because you know, I got teeth that fluff up your tire tracks on a Brilliant, and it just catches this stuff. You go 10 feet and there'll be a big wad of you know, residue, and you have to stop, and every time you stop then you leave a gap of no seed in it. So if you're using a Brilliant or something like that, you never want to stop, you want to go continuously. So I think I'll have to go over it with a rototiller those places, and I'll leave this. We're not going to plant our amazing grains for another, you know, another 3-4 weeks, so we'll let this all die in here and stuff, and with that we'll probably use a grain drill on that, like my 750 drill or something like that. So that's the plan right now. Like I said, the drought isn't just, you know, bad for EHD and other things. I mean, this is like one of our best fields, and you see how much money and time and effort and everything we have into this cornfield, and the deer totally destroyed it. But I guess you look on the bright side, at least they had something to eat that's high protein and stuff still when everything else was dead. So, you know, having a big brassica field in here and with amazing grains and our pro brassica, it's going to be awesome as well. But it just adds a lot of work, you know, to what we're doing here. So we'll figure this out and get it planted, and hopefully we'll get some rain and it'll come up, and we'll still have a beautiful food plot here. But it's like I always said, if it fails the first time, you still have lots of chances, but we're getting down to the end of the chances. It's the last one we have. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully we get some rain late. Okay, we'll just go over everything twice on this, and then where we're going to do the turnips, we'll have to hit it with the rototiller, because there's too much stuff in there. You have to stop every 5 feet. So, but this will be fine. But the outside edge here, we can leave this, because, you know, in 3 weeks this will all be dead, and I can spray it again or whatever. And we're going to use, like if we were using the 750 drill or the Great Plains, you could go right over this stuff. It wouldn't matter. But you know. All right, but it's looking good. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I hate losing the moisture out of it, but hey, it's going to rain again, so let's just get it on and keep moving forward. Okay, bye. Mix that seed up a little bit after driving it. It just kind of shakes that smaller seed to the bottom after driving this thing around. So we just mix some of it up here and get the dust that was at the bottom settled, mixed out of there. All right, well, you can see that, you know, you just can't get all that corn stalks and weeds and stuff out of here, so I just had to lift the teeth up that fluff up, you know, the dirt behind the tires, lift them up, or they'd just be dragging this stuff. And I think this will probably be fine. You can see the seed in there, and this will, if we get a little rain on to get it started, I think a lot of the stuff on top, it'll die pretty quick here, but at least it'll maybe give it a little bit of shade and hold some moisture in there anyway. So hopefully this should come up really good here. And what I did is we just used the egg leader and came over like 5 rows from the edge, and then when we get to another couple weeks here, these brassicas should be coming up, and we'll take amazing grains and go around the outside edge. So I like to keep like about a 20 yards, you know, from the edge, so it just is a good, you know, range finder for you. If you have deer, you know, if you're on this edge here, you know, the 20 yards is right to the edge where the brassicas and the amazing grains meet, so you can judge it pretty quick on how far away deer are and stuff. So hopefully this will work. Like I said, it's a drought is just terrible, you know, in so many ways, but just food plots just suffer from it. So, but like I always said before too, it's like you have a lot of do-overs, you know, from the very beginning. You can always keep, if something doesn't work, you can always go to brassicas. Now if these don't work, you still have one more shot, like the 1st of September, to get the amazing grains in, and like your winter wheats and rye and that kind of stuff. So we're just, you know, we had been done with all of our brassica fields, but now all these disasters where corn and beans are, we just have to go into all those and, you know, and do those too. So that adds another 40 or 50 acres for me to do here in the next couple of days. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'm going to jam a bunch in tonight. And, you know, if it rains tomorrow, I'm not going to complain about it, but at least it'll, you know, get this stuff going. But we'll have to wait a couple of days to get that going. So we'll keep continuing on.